Hello and welcome back. My name is Alicia and this is Project Vegan, where we bake vegan treats. Today's not a treat, today is something savoury, but we're still baking, so let's get baking. Alrighty, so today we're going to be making croissants, or attempting to make croissants. I'm going to be following Joshua Weissman's video where we've used no equipment and you get to make beautiful croissants. Obviously his was not vegan, so I'm going to attempt to make these but vegan. I don't know how the butter is going to turn out because I'm going to be using margarine, which is really soft, so it might not turn out as good, but we're going to give it a go anyway. I will link his video in the information card in the top here and the written format of the recipe, which I will be referring to a lot. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. This isn't one of my simple or normal kind of bakes, so if it's not your kind of thing, no worries, check out one of the other videos. I'll also link a playlist, sweet treats up there. Those are some of my more simple bakes. This is going to take about 2 days. I'm going to be finishing it tomorrow, but we're going to have to start it because it's got a 12-hour overnight rest. Oh, I might mention as well, all of these measurements are in grams, so a little bit different. 130 grams of warm water. The water needs to be at 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. 6 grams of active yeast. We give that a mix. I'll let that sit for 10 minutes until it's all light, fluffy and bloomed. In this medium-sized bowl here, I'm going to be adding the flour, sugar and salt. There we go. So 250 grams of, I'm just using plain standard flour. It's supposed to be baking flour, bread flour, but that's alright. Oh, and 30 grams of sugar. 30. And we're just going to give those a good mix and mix through. Just like that. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes and I have melted my butter. It is 25 grams of butter and 1 egg yolk. I'm using organ egg replacer again, just following the ratios on there. Adding in all of those, so we add in the yeast, the egg yolks, and the butter, melted butter. Alright, and then I'm going to mix this until a dough forms. Once a dough forms, I'm just going to knead the rest of it with my hands. Now I'm going to do this thing. Much smoother. I'm going to shape this into a little ball here, just like this, and chuck it in my bowl, cover it in cling wrap and put it in the oven for about, not in the oven, oh dear, no, definitely not in the oven. I'm going to put it in the fridge for 10 minutes and then we're going to complete what he calls the first turn. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. He did this in the bowl, so you can do it in the bowl. However, I'm going to do it out here so that you can see. So he basically took the edge, gently pulled it up, like so, brought it into the middle and just pushed it down gently with the palm of his hand, and he did that all the way around. And once you've gone all the way around, you flip it over, put that side down back in the bowl, and we go back in the fridge for 10 minutes. It's round 2, quite literally. So we're going to do it again, same thing as last time, but we're going to complete 2 rounds. Okay, now in Joshua Weissman's variations, and his outline or schedule, he has it so he makes something called a beurrage, or I'm not sure, it's basically a butter block, a square, the day that he makes the croissants. However, I'm going to be using Nuttlex. It is a vegan margarine type spread and it's not particularly hard, not as hard as butter goes when it's cold. So I'm going to freeze it And then it also means it cuts 25 minutes off my time tomorrow when I'm studying. So win-win to me, and we're going to see how it turns out. According to the recipe, I need to cut about 138 grams. However, it's going to be very difficult to get these out of here. Yes, no way, okay. Now I can do it like he does it. A block of butter. Brilliant. 41. Yeah, a little bit of extra butter never hurt no one. Using a ruler, we want the butter to measure 4 inches, or in metric that's, I think I said 10 centimeters. Okay, let's try this again. So I have my original 10 centimeter line. Yeah, my block is 10 centimeters, that's good. Perfect. Now we go the other way. After all that, you put it seam side down, and using a rolling pin, you want to gently press it and then go the other way. And then I'm just gonna roll it, make sure I'm getting all the way into the corners and being really careful not to trying not to burst the seams. My square's a little uneven, but it looks good. I'm happy with that. It's nice and flat too.
So here you want to begin by gently rolling out the dough into a slightly enlarged square or round lump, just to stretch the dough out a little bit. Now using baking paper and a ruler, yet again you want to do the same thing that you did for the Beurrage block, but this time you want to make a slightly bigger square, measuring 7 inches by 7 inches, or 17.7 centimeters by 17.7 centimeters. Package it up like a little envelope and roll it to the doughs completely in the corners. Literally the same thing, just bigger with the dough. Once you're done rolling and you're happy with the shape of your dough and it's all in the corners, all nice and flat and even, then you want to pop it in the fridge for 12 hours or overnight for a rest, to let the gluten rest.
Hello and welcome back. It is day 2 of making croissants, and hopefully the final day. So I have taken the butter Beurrage block out of the freezer. Then we want to take our dough from last night that's been in the fridge. Oh, look at that. That's cool. To gently roll out the edges, I believe. Butter Beurrage block. And you want to place it in the middle, but you want it to be like on a diagonal. And then you want to take each edge, gently pull it, and stretch it over. It's got a weird crust on it. In the video, this didn't have it, so I really hope it doesn't affect the croissants. Just like that. Then you want to put the envelope side, or the folds side down, and gently push down with your rolling pin to break up the butter a little bit. Alright, so it says the next step after you've pressed them down is to roll it out to be about 45 centimeters in length, which is the length of this tape measure here. So we're going to do that. He also mentions in his video you don't want to be rolling back and forth like this on the dough. You want to do nice big long rolls. How are we looking? We're at 45. Perfect. Alright. Okay, so you want to fold this about 3/4 of the way up. And bring this one down. Then it says longer portion over short portion. Like that. Look at those layers. We then use a rolling pin to tap to make sure all the layers stick together, but you do not press them. Right, now I wrap them like a burrito and it goes into the fridge for an hour to chill. So I will see you all in 1 hour. Alrighty, so it has been an hour and I am just taking my dough out of the fridge and the cling wrap now. We're going to roll it once again, but this time you want to roll it this way so that the layers are facing towards you, and we're going to roll it again to 18 inches or 45 centimeters. Right, now that we have got my dough, it is 18 inches long, it is very thin, very skinny. We're going to fold 1/3 of the way up, and then I want to fold the other 1/3 of the dough down and on top like this. All right, I've got my third. So we're going to wrap this back up in Glad wrap and put it in the fridge anywhere from 1 hour up to 12 hours. Alrighty, it is me again. I'm back. It has been an hour. It has rested in the fridge. So last time it has to go in the fridge, thankfully. If I'm going to be completely honest, I'm getting a little bit over it. It's definitely not something that happens very quickly. However, I'm really hoping they turn out alright, and it's a good experience, I feel. But it's definitely not for someone who wants something quick and easy. This next step is to... Oh, my butter's seeping out. This may not end well for me. The next step here is to take your rolled up croissant and put it into a 10-inch by 10-inch square. I had to Google it. 10 inches is 25 centimeters, so 25 by 25. And then once we have the square all rolled out, we mug them up, cut them, roll them, and then they have to proof for 2 more hours. Alrighty, that is that. You're going to use a knife and you're going to mark every 1.5 inches along one of the edges. I'm going to do it this way. 1.5 inches is about 4 centimeters, I think. Why does that seem so small? I'm worried. Okay, then the next part is you go in the middle of the two here. You put a little mark there. I'm really confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've done these a little bit small, so we're making slightly mini croissants. Alrighty, reusing the baking paper from earlier, and we're going to attempt to roll these. Now you want to roll them nice and tight, but you don't want to squish the layers. This angle didn't record it, and I'm absolutely fuming about it because this is taking me forever, although it is a reason to make them again at some point. However, I'm still going to upload this, I'm still going to use this footage because it's been 2 days. This is how they've turned out. All I did was I put them in a 25 by 25 square. I rolled it out to meet those measurement, 25 centimeters. It's 10 inches. Then I cut them into angles and cut the triangles. That was a nightmare. And then I just rolled them into these little rolls. They have to be nice and tight, and if you want you can gently stretch and pull them to elongate them or make them a little bit fatter. I made mine too skinny and I've made too many. This recipe was only supposed to make 6, so mine are a lot smaller. Also, some of them are funny shapes, if you can see on the tray here. I'm hoping they're going to turn out pretty good though, because if you can see in there, look at all those layers, which is what they're supposed to look like. So here's hoping. Well, they need to prove for 2 hours. So I'm just going to chuck them in the oven on the bottom shelf for 2 hours. They're supposed to rise in size and you need to make them so that the air can't get to them and make a skin. Alrighty, we are cooked and pretty much cooled. They look adorable. The shapes are a little off, and I kind of expected that to happen. They more look like those little snails, but I couldn't wait. Oh, even the bottoms. Oh. But I couldn't wait. Oh, even the bottoms. Oh. I couldn't wait any longer to give them a go. There was one thing I didn't film on camera though. I did wash them in an egg wash using all grain egg replacer, 1 teaspoon of the powder to 2 tablespoons of water. Nice and simple, but I think it's time to taste them because this is 2 days worth of work. So let's go. Oh, look at the middle of them. Okay, I didn't realize how much I miss this kind of baking and croissants and this kind of stuff. These are so good. You can bet I'm going to be making these again and trying to get them to look, pardon me, not like croissant, a little bit more like proper croissants and not like my little mess. But 10 out of 10 recommend giving these a go. These are completely vegan, yet they still taste and look just like the real thing. Nice, light, fluffy, buttery in the middle. Doesn't get any better than this. I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. This is going to be a long video. I already know it before I even edited it. So worth the time though. Yeah. The link will be in the description box below. As I've already said, the links will be in the information cards up in one of the corners. Please subscribe and I'll see you all in the next video. Next video will be mini cheesecakes. Chai latte. And the upload will be tomorrow. So, I'll see you in that one. Peace.